What's going on YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. Back when XDefiant released, it was met with a lot of disappointment as players went to that game in hopes of it being the quote-unquote COD killer. Because that's what XDefiant fans were propping it up to be, pretending it was. And unfortunately, it didn't meet those expectations. It didn't even really meet the expectations of being a COD alternative at the time. The game lacked content. The netcode was disappointing. And all in all, it just led to an experience that a lot of people dumped after playing it for a week or two. Now, since launch, the game has struggled, and yet it has made some significant improvements in some of the areas where it needed to. There's more content now than there was before. They're working on balancing the game every single day between the different factions, which is huge. And of course, we've seen a substantial change to the netcode for the better. A significant improvement, you might say, which is great. The game plays so much better now than when it launched. So now the tough task for XDefiant and its developers is to win back those players they lost. But I do find it funny, though, that when Black Ops 6 launched, it launched with a ton of hype, similar to XDefiant. But it also launched with a bad netcode, bad hit detection, and a lot of people are making excuses for it. A lot of people want to pretend it doesn't exist. And I find that dichotomy very fascinating. Because I can almost guarantee you the same people that want to ignore the netcode being an issue here in Black Ops 6 are the same people that dropped XDefiant and called it a trash game due to its netcode issues. And I get it. Call of Duty has over 15 years of loyalty built up, of brand recognition built up. So it's going to be a little bit tougher to abandon something that you've literally spent a decade and a half playing. But it's also funny that the second something new comes on the market, you give it absolutely zero opportunity to make mistakes, to stumble out of the gate. The excuses I have seen from this community defending Black Ops 6 and some of its failures, some of its shortcomings, are downright laughable. Now, of course, we can compare Activision to Ubisoft all the live long day. Both companies make bad games. They do. They lack polish in their games. But one has a tremendous amount of experience delivering a first-person shooter arena-type game, and one doesn't. Remember, the entire fabric and foundation for XDefiant is built off of MMORPG. It's not built off of an arena FPS shooter. Whereas the entire engine that Call of Duty runs on, yeah, that was built for Call of Duty. And yet it still runs poorly, unoptimized. And we still have packet burst and the million other server issues and hit detection issues that we see every single game. But yeah, let's give a free pass to Call of Duty. Let's let them continue to deliver us a bad game, while we also universally pan XDefiant for giving us a similar experience, just because they're trying too hard to be like Call of Duty. Don't get me wrong, this is not me praising XDefiant. They've made their mistakes and they deserve to be in the situation they're in. The game was not ready to launch, and they shouldn't have launched it in the state it was in. Simple as that. But this is Call of Duty. We have 15 years plus to look back on. And the games were never this inconsistent when it came to the netcode, when it came to the servers. But it's gotten progressively worse ever since Modern Warfare 2019, ever since they've tried to tune this skill-based matchmaking system or the engagement-optimized matchmaking system to a T to make sure that it's all perfect so that you stay engaged, so you're retained for as long as possible, so they can share the numbers with the shareholders and be all happy. And honestly, it's made the experience worse. At least when I go to XDefiant, I understand that the game is trying its best. The developers are trying their best. When I play Call of Duty, I feel as if the developers are just lazy in a lot of cases. They could fix these problems. Things like text overlays. That could be a fixable issue. but it remains unfixed. It might be fixed now, I don't know. Uh, but even then, like, it was a problem for over 2 weeks. If you cared, it could be solved like that, but you don't. You have no incentive to. Whereas with XDefiant, they have every incentive to fix things, which is why they've been so transparent and honest with their community. Why they're willing to discuss the current state of the game so often and so frequent. Then you have Call of Duty that has one developer coming out every once in a while and replying to some tweets, which I have praised. Don't get me wrong, and I will continue to praise Matt Scrons because he deserves to be praised for at least communicating with this community. But it's not enough. We don't get enough communication from the developers. But we do with XDefiant. And this is the funny thing, is there's just so much hypocrisy between the reception of XDefiant and the reception of Black Ops 6. And if the games were treated equally and were given the same chance, I guarantee you more people would like XDefiant. More people would be willing to give it a chance. Maybe a second chance. But they won't. They'll give those second and third and fourth and fifth chances to Call of Duty because it's Call of Duty. And I get that. They've earned a reputation. They've built up this brand. This isn't any fault to them. The fault is to you as consumers, falling so quickly for the tricks and the marketing of Call of Duty and expecting the game to be like your childhood. It probably won't be. There's good aspects of Black Ops 6. I'm not trying to pretend it's a terrible game. It's not. I have fun playing it. But I recognize the game for what it is. It's not going to be what Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 were to me. It's not going to be Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2 either. And that's perfectly fine. It can exist as an okay game here in 2024. A game that I will play and that I'll want to prestige in and I'll want to try the new content out in. But it's not a game that'll suck up all my time. And neither will XDefiant. XDefiant is a game that I'll treat the same as Black Ops 6. A game I want to play, a game I want to enjoy myself in. But it's not a game that's going to consume me the same way that MW2 and MW3 did back in 2010 and 2011. It won't be like Black Ops 1 and 2 where I spend literal months playing the games. That's not where Call of Duty is anymore, and that's not where XDefiant is either. The point I'm trying to make is there's a lot more similarities between XDefiant and Call of Duty than I think we want to admit. And we're willing to give a free pass to Call of Duty in some areas, but also not give that same free pass to XDefiant. Be consistent with your criticism is all I'm asking for. I don't think it's hard to notice that there are netcode issues here in Black Ops 6 and that they deserve as much scrutiny as what you gave XDefiant during their rough patches from basically launch until now. Expect better and you'll receive better. It's as simple as that. There's a reason why XDefiant works so diligently on improving their netcode. It affected their bottom line. But with Call of Duty, we don't ask the same respect. We don't ask for the same due diligence. They just keep things the status quo because we keep playing and we want to brush it under the rug. Because heaven forbid you criticize this game because you'll be labeled a quote-unquote hater. And I hate that term. Those that were critical of XDefiant have helped made it a better game. Those who are critical of Call of Duty are just haters, I guess. Heaven forbid us want to see improvements to this franchise that we all love. I love this franchise as much as you do. I just want us to expect more out of it. Expect more out of what the developers give us. You pay $70 for this experience, and they can't even respect you enough to give you proper servers. Whereas a free-to-play game like XDefiant is trying to earn that business every day. Earn your play every single day. And it's free. It's just sort of funny. That's all I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to leave this video off with, is I do kind of find it funny. There is a hypocrisy here that I really wish the Call of Duty community would recognize and try to reconcile. Because it does deserve some criticism from this community. The servers, the netcode, the hit detection all need massive improvements. And it won't get better unless you say something about it. So that's it for the video. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in that comment section. Of course, I don't always like crossing worlds between XDefiant and Call of Duty, but I do think sometimes it's necessary to have this conversation. So I'm extremely curious if you're somebody who is disappointed by the netcode at launch for XDefiant, how you feel about the netcode here in Black Ops 6. Would you say it is comparable, worse, or better? That's all I want to know. Leave that down below in the comment section, and I thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.